From there, we will move into Ghosted. We'll touch on this super quick. Cam's not here, but he'll give his thoughts when he comes back. Ghosted is just so with Chat GPT being a thing, a lot of people like to make the joke being like, oh, this movie's like a social experiment. It's made by Chat GPT. This one genuinely, I think, was made by AI because there is a comical, like an absurd amount of famous actor cameos in this movie. I didn't write them all down. I'm just going to name out the top of my head. But like Adrian Brody randomly shows up. Anthony Mackie randomly shows up. Who's the dude who plays Bucky Barnes, who's in Fresh?
Sebastian
Stan randomly shows up. Oh God, I wish Cam was here because there's like, not even kidding, probably 10 more actors who are like in big name projects every year that just show up for a quick scene. And it just literally felt like someone went to ChatGPT and said like, write an action rom-com with 15 A-list actors and a popular pop song soundtrack. And this is just what the movie spit out because like it's just a corny romance between Ana de Armas and Chris Evans. And then just every scene you just have these characters come in for 5 minutes of the movie, and it's like sickening how like many, like it's just like, oh my God, another actor just showed up. It's like, oh my God, another person I recognize from stuff showed up. And then so many just corny pop songs like what's that song, like Ooh, I'm a Rebel, Feel Good or whatever, that starts playing like 30 seconds into the movie, and that's when you just know you're like, oh, I'm in for a campy treat here.
I cannot believe how many people actually watch this movie.
That's what pisses me off because everyone's always like, oh, movie theaters are dying and streaming's taking over, and then we see this weekend so far of 2023, we've had so many big name releases come out in theaters. Ghosted by far is the most logged of all my mutuals. It's like, you guys are all complaining about streaming taking over. You're clearly feeding into it. But that's why I like tweeted. I was like, why is everyone watching Ghosted when so many movies came out in theaters? And like 2 seconds later, I quote tweeted that tweet. I'm like, now watching Ghosted. But I did my part and saw all these movies that were released except Evil Dead Rise in theaters. But all ended there for me. I give it a 1 star purely. Like I know Cam's lower than it, but I give it a 1 star purely because this movie's so bad. But like I didn't hate my time watching it. Where stuff like 65 and like Moonfall, like I just genuinely like wanted to turn off because I hated. This I was like, whatever. It's like a 1 star. It got me a couple little pieces of enjoyment, but it's a 1.7 out of 10 for me. So I'm not like saying it's anything
65
glowing.
hate, man.
Cam,
can you
what's
hear
your
me
thoughts
now?
on Ghosted? Yes.
Yeah, so my thought on first off on your post of everyone's watching this has without a doubt the biggest movie stars. And that's what people watch movies for now. Like whether you want to say like movies have movie stars anymore or not, whatever. But that's my thought on it. It has the biggest actors of the week. And like Joaquin Phoenix is huge, but he's not Chris Evans or Ana de Armas huge for the general audience. Now, that being said about Ghosted, this thing's ass, this thing's shit, this thing's piss, this thing's the worst fucking movie of the year. I'm not a Skinamarink fan. This thing was less entertaining than Skinamarink. I would have rather stood in front of my wall all 2 hours or whatever. And this movie, there are movies that I rate extremely low, like Transformers The Last Night, which I think is incomprehensible. But again, it's like kind of fun in the sense that it's Transformers action. This movie stinks, man. And I don't care. I'm going to spoil it. Spoilers 3, 2, 1. You've had your time. Fuck you and these stupid ass cameos. And it's fun that like Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan and Chris Evans are all pals. Fuck you. This is a money laundering tactic, Tyler. And I know you mentioned that. This is bullshit. And Ryan Reynolds shows up.
I forgot about Ryan Reynolds showing up for 2 seconds too.
Ryan Reynolds too. John Cho shows up. And this stupid ass goddamn Ana de Armas looks
Tim Blake
horrible.
Nelson shows up.
Yeah, Tim Blake Nelson. I didn't even think that was a cameo. I thought he was more a character, but you're right. It was a cameo because he was there for like 3 minutes and he gets and then he gets killed. Ana de Armas looks horrible for as worse as she can look. Like she looks amazing, obviously. She's a beautiful woman. The worst wig ever. I don't think she's on screen half the time. I think it's just a body double and they put her face on. Chris Evans is standing in front of a green screen this entire movie. I don't think they're next to each other. Fuck you for making Chris Evans this loser incel who can't, or not, he's not an incel, I guess, because he has sex, but he's this loser, hopeless romantic who can't find love. This is Chris fucking Evans. If Jesus Christ came to Earth, he'd probably look like Chris Evans if he wanted to look like an attractive person. Like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me, you stupid heads at Apple? Like, Oh my god, man!
The thing that's so ridiculous about the cameos is so Bern Gorman might not be a name brand actor, but I think we've all seen Watcher. He was like kind of the main guy in Watcher.
Yeah.
So for me, I literally thought like 20 minutes in this movie, I'm like, oh, I'm clever. Bern Gorman's the taxi driver. He's gonna come back and be the villain. No, it's just the first of like 70 cameos. They just want to throw in actors from other stuff. But I literally thought I was like, oh, that taxi driver, he's like innocent now, but he's gonna be the big bad. No, I don't. You don't ever see him again, right? It's just like Bern Gorman's a taxi driver for a scene. It's like, what? This is weird. And like I mentioned in my TikTok tweet and letterbox review, like this movie said it was 2 hours, but like an hour 40 passed and like the credits hit, and I'm like, we got like 20 minutes of credits for this movie. Like this has to be like some scheme to money launder or something. The credits are insanely long. There's so many production companies, so many actors, so many songs they had to give credit to. Like this is such a fake movie.
The worst part of this goddamn movie is the sound editing. I do not understand what the hell was going on. You can't hear any of the dialogue. And then when the action hits, you blow your ears off. I don't know if, Tyler, you had that experience, but I was watching this in my room. Like, we just put Bailey to sleep, so I don't want it super loud, but I had to turn it up. So say, like, my TV set on 15. I was at 30 for this entire movie, and then the action just blew my ears off, and I had to, like, turn it down. Oh, my God, that was the worst part. And then Ana de Armas, and I said this in my TikTok review, Ana de Armas is a really good action actor. Like, she's really good in No Time to Die and like I don't even remember the Gray Man. She has some action. She's fine. She's better in that than this. And they just waste her, man. Like, and I've seen a lot of tweets about like her last 5 have been stinkers. I have, and I think she's too popular for her own good right now. Where she was getting put in not a small role in Knives Out, but she's like genuine, like she's not the hot girl in Knives Out. Like she's a real person in Knives Out. And then in Blade Runner 2049, she is the hot girl, but like it's different in like she's like a figment of Ryan Gosling's not imagination. She's just AI, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think she's too famous for her own good right now. She's getting typecast in a lot of roles as like this attractive girl who's also kind of actiony. Other than I think Blonde was the big swing of like, this is my Oscar attempt, which it was. She got nominated for an Oscar, but she made a movie that she didn't make the movie. She was in a movie that was extremely, we'll say, rude to Marilyn Monroe, and so people don't like it. But she was good in it. I don't know, man. Fuck you.
Well, we don't need to go too much deeper into Ghosted, but the amount of times they say Taxman in this is sickening.
Oh my god. My god.
It's like it's just stupid. Like not even exaggerating, 250 times they say the word Taxman because that's like the name of like the covert agent they're trying to track down.
Mm-hmm. I think this is the best I've ever done on just like straight up review. Like my reviews don't do well, and it's probably because I just ramble, which is fine. This was a rant, and I got a lot of comments of like, just turn it on and like have fun, like watch it with your wife, turn it on. And I can do that. I think I find a lot of movies you can turn off your brain and have fun. This is not one of them for me. I was watching with Emma, and she was like, and during the first action scene, she's like, have they spoken in the last 30 minutes? And I'm like, yes, they have, but you can't fucking hear it because the sound editing's so bad. And then she's like, this sucks. Like, she didn't like it. And so I watched this with Emma. I watched it with my significant other. We were not doing anything. We just turned it on. It sucks. It's bad. I'm very happy for you if you had a good time with it, but it sucks and it's bad.
Yeah, it's an average 2.4 on Letterboxd. I need movies like this to exist, though. I love movies like this for a specific reason. Mm-hmm. That's because once we're done recording this, I go into probably like 4 or 5 hours of like clipping up videos, making thumbnails, posting stuff to Patreon. Like Saturdays and Sundays, I'm grinding in here. And I always have movies on. And I can't be watching Bergman, David Lynch, Tarantino on my other monitor. I need movies like Ghosted to exist in this world to get me through these long days of grinding my computer where I can just have some mindless shit on my TV and just kind of be there. And just give me something to look at. Pop in every 10 minutes, be like, oh, that's an interesting plot line. Keep moving with my day. So Ghosted, I respect movies for you like that, but we'll move on. One thing, like,
and it's probably going to do numbers for Apple TV Plus. I'm sure it'll be like the highest streamed movie ever. Or something.
I loved Chris Movies Are Therapies review on Letterboxd. He says, sometimes I worry I'll never sell a screenplay, and movies like this give me hope. That's pretty much the greatest way to sum it up.
That was funny.